Welcome to CathyDslayt's website and the SRC4U Zoom call for January 25th, 2021. To access the live Zoom call, we are going to click here, and you'll need to remember this password. We're going to allow. And then we'll type in the passcode. Join. And we're waiting for the hostess to open the room. She'll be with us momentarily. Has opened the room, and we're going to join without video. You can join with video, but I prefer to join without video. We're going to join with audio.
It's 10 o'clock, so let's get started. There's a new post, and I just want to point out a couple of things. This might be our chance. The idea is to use these times, which our reality in a sense has been shattered because we've seen some things happen that are beyond belief. And so this might be the time to put a few things to the test that we've been taught on a quantum level. And we know our capabilities. And in reference to the Holy Spirit, Jesus talked about that. The ancient Egyptians also talked about it, but in a different vernacular. They talked about it as accessing the intelligence of the heart. And the problem with all that may be that they thought that intelligence of the heart was just for a select few. That might be, in other words, for them, not the masses, which might be why they ended up, they did not sustain their civilization. There's a little bit in here on images, but what I wanted to point out, if you want to add this to your database, here are two bits of information that are now doused in, and you know, when they scan, but this first one here, use these times for the great work. Even the most difficult circumstances end up being the greatest blessings. I could not believe healingnumbers.com had that code, but they did. And I think you can just copy it from the side and add it if you want to. And then I think I mentioned Dr. Percy sent this phenomenal list of radionic frequencies, and the SRC can send radionic frequencies. And I confirmed that with him last night. He said absolutely. In fact, Dr. Percy is the radionics teacher. I was hoping someday to have a radionics machine. Demonstrated the SRC to him, and he bought the SRC and now uses it. So this one is also an interesting frequency. I'm recognized as needed. For all people who know they have capabilities needed by establishing this vibration in themselves, it reawakens the use of the abilities, plus lets others know around the world how to acknowledge the value that each of us have to the whole. So, and then, you know, I said, we're wired to create heaven on earth. How about we get on with it? Just some things to think about. And then down here, and I've got this in the VSA as well, is a sovereignty. Where'd it go? I know it's down here. Where's the screencast? I don't know if Joanna's with us yet or not, but there was a screencast. Oh, there it is. So here's a screencast. I put together a protocol. It's really a cocktail on sovereignty. And the thing of it is that I can't use that for the group because not everybody wants sovereignty. But it's in here. You can watch the screencast. It's a necessary ingredient if you're going to increase consciousness to the point that you can actually serve the world and create. And that's something that everybody has to make their own choice on. I'm asking for that. So just if you get a chance, please look at that. And let's go in now to the group. And I had already gone ahead and scanned because we did want, I took it out now, we did want a name image today. And interestingly enough, absolute certainty in the light force of God. So I don't see how that could be a bad thing. Let's go ahead and load it. took a lot of supercharging over the weekend. So another thing over the weekend, it dawned on me that when you're doing your own software, which in here I'm thinking we all are, you might, before you do your scanning, you've got 10 panels anyway, you might want to scan and see, for example, do you want to just do an individual? Do you want to combine a family member, or, only a family member, your home, your business? I put my crystals because I have a lot of them. They can pick up energy, city, country, planetary. So you might want to start checking that and see, well, just exactly what all do I want to work with today? And then let's see, do we want the this is your clearing today. We don't need a clearing. I'll go ahead and put the little short one for the weekend that maybe we don't need one today. So let's, where am I? Okay, we are, there's a little bit of a lower number here with higher consciousness, so we have a cocktail for that. And then this is interesting because I had sent some energy to a couple of other people this morning, and they also wanted sage. So let's just go ahead and do those two things. For the higher consciousness, if you have any sage at home, you might want sage, because this has been very consistently coming up. And what you can do also, it seems to be interesting to send this in 3 times. And that's one reason you can do this work daily, is because it's going to be so different every time. You see that the body is going to adapt to, like if you take the same pills all the time or do the same, it's going to adapt. But when you have such a wide variety like you do with software, it's pretty good to be consistent. Go ahead and put that in. Got to add it because it won't take it again if it's already in there. And then I just go in and check also, do we want a Pro Tool? We do actually. Let's just go in. I don't know about the rest of you, but I guess I'm going to be saging later today. We actually wanted that instead of the other clearings. I'll come back to that.
How about if I diffuse my sage?
I think that would be great. Yeah, that's right. We have sage essential oil.
Yeah.
In fact, while we're at it, this is something I've just started recently doing at night. And I'll tell you, boy, can I tell the difference when I get up in the morning. Just go in. Let's do it now for the group. Just go ahead and do your essential oils right there and create a custom. And then I put those oils on at night. I have been lately not putting too many oils on in the day because some people don't like any type of scent. But for example, here we're asking for RC, which is for lungs. Awaken, I've been told that Awaken, if a person is doing emotional therapy, that's the most powerful of the oils. Mixture, Cedar, Constant Believe, Juva Cleanse, Grounding, Abundance, Aroma Life. And so we just want 22 minutes. But you might be surprised every now and then when you do this, you might want hours and hours of oil. Pretty powerful. So thanks. Thanks for reminding me of that. Now we have, let's just, while we're here, since I didn't get to show you all of the super, remember, the more you use this software, the more it's going to work with you. Nope. Done with supercharges. So let's go in. This now is the on Mondays. And to see out of just what the group is most interested in focusing on. I guess the list is getting a little long. I want to mention too, any research you can do. I put in out there two institutions that may have done a lot of contributing to the stress we see today. One is the mainstream media, but the other is education. And if you get a chance, you might want to start looking at some of the things our children are being taught. Okay, so just quickly to go over this, this axon is actually a nutrient for the brain. So just for the heck of it, what I've been doing is for myself, I do this for myself, I do it for my daughter, and I do it for the group. And if I have a client that really is up in the air with where to start, you can do it, of course, too. But we're going to add all of these under 1,000 because our field certainly can handle them. But I will take certain ones. Let's look at this one. It didn't work. Clear that.
Exxon, something you can order?
I don't know that much about it. I was reading an article, and I just go in and see if there's a code for it. But let me tell you, these codes for the supplements, or even the images of the supplements, seem to be very as powerful. The whole list, it'll be in 3 times. But let's just see, for example, what you can do as you go, purchase, and I'd have to look. This is the first time it's come up like this. So I look in and say, do I need to purchase it? And I purchase very little now. No, you really don't need to purchase it. And let's see. This is also why our sustenance balancer list is so long, because I'll test to see if the image. Not really. See, so at that point,
Does Kevin have
the lists I put in the VSA, and I don't know if I know I've given them to him, but I don't know how much of them he has. I'll check with him.
Okay. Well, I can check with him.
Yeah, call him and see. He should, but I get a little off track with that. Now we have a few others, so call out if there's any other that right now while we're together on the call you'd like to see. The level of stress. I am invisible to my enemies. I renounce all pride that would open the door for destruction. I will sleep well. I will not be kept awake by any spirit of restlessness or insomnia. Pessimism. Prevent age-related disease.
I'd like you to put in that I am invisible to my enemies.
Gotcha. Yeah, good. I think that's a good one, too.
I could use it. Sleep well.
Okay, we'll do that next. So let's douse it in twice. And that gives you a little idea of how well just one code is going to help. Not that much in this one, so we're going to do it a second time. And what I still believe is when we see this, our brain does 80% of the work. So with that in mind, then we're really amping it up with this. Let's look here. Do we need a Pro Tool? No. And while we're at it, what do we want in reference to Sage? Okay, so dispenser and elemental. Quickly. Let's see if we have the image already. We do. Oh, it's the essential oil. All right, cool. Five minutes with 7 repeats. Not quite ready for us to focus. Okay. So we have, going on, let's do the sleep one. Now this is an example. This is from the Bible, but a lot of times if you go in, well, I can't do it. Never. I'm not going to do it at this moment in time. Are you all still there?
I'm here.
Oh, good, because when I hop around, sometimes I lose you. But you can also, and I will do this later, go into the Healing Generators site, healinginfo.com, or healingnumbers.info, I'm sorry. And very often they will have made it into a code. I keep a list of all my requests. It's amazing how many times you go back and find it. But I'm almost convinced whoever does those codes were reading the same books because I'll find these amazing long statements and I'll type it in and there it is. Going on down, just call out. I think we got down to seed new futures, tolerance, well-functioning car. This is an interesting one that came up. I am an end times warrior, a weapon against the enemy. Constitutional, Satan, you have lost the war in heaven. Mania, sensitivity, head pain, tooth abscess. The collective now prays for the highest outcome for the planet and humanity. Balance, non-beneficial stress in the human nervous system and brain. Now, when this one comes up, I was doing this every day, and then, again, we adapt, so I stopped for a while unless we... Well, let's just go in here. I think I might be out after this approach rule, so let's balance. Let's just put nervous system. That covers the whole thing. Well, not too bad. You will have some situations where people want 24 hours for that. Heavy chest congestion, perfect love, nutrient here, PQQ, permanently prosperous. Let me dwell in my land safely. Again, there's several of these permanently prosperous codes. Light protection in Jesus Christ, social consciousness, connect to the unified field, love unashamedly. Block mass distraction, weakness, math to tap into the divine, nausea, equilibrium, pure heart, remove black magic. Black magic often is our own thoughts, and anytime we speak, remember what we're speaking, we're playing a part in creating, but also the frequency, anything that distorts our field. Some say some of the cell phone towers, etc., serve the same purpose. I don't know. Reverse dementia, digestion, expand understanding of the value of virtue. There's really too many to read all of them. We'd be sitting here doing just that. Unclear of life purpose. This heavy metal toxicity has been coming up a lot. I think we're going to have to start focusing on that. Let's look in here at that one. Has anybody done any research on any good products that clear heavy metal toxicity? No. I have intended to, and I will. I just haven't done it.
Activated charcoal.
Yes. Yeah. And very often it doesn't take much. They're also raving about the touchtone essentials, but that doesn't come up very often for us as a group in the sustenance balancer. No, don't need any Pro Tools. Some of these things we need the 3D clearing. Go down here and just look at this last one. It's really funny. Now the last one very often is interesting. This is perfect health. Let's just finish up with housing that in twice. And then I will send this. Thank you, Joanne. I'll send this to you.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we'll know our focus out of all of this. We'll take some Pro Tools for that too. So let's just look where we are. See. We want to preserve options today. Let's do that. And we see long meridians and acupoints. So what I'll do, I'm running out of Pro Tools on the one computer, and so I have another one here. I'm going to be working with the long meridians in the recharger. First, we're going to clear and then go up the line, ending with balance. Let's see what else we've got. And you can pull up online and see where that meridian goes and see if those parts of your body are giving you any symptoms. Legs, for example, swollen, brain plexus, central nervous system, which we've already got running hard, all subtle energy metal strengthening, that would be lungs and large intestine. This autistic fantasy, remember, autistic is just, in this kind of work, self-contained information. Emotion, hysterical, just look at that. We can do without that. That really lowers consciousness. Oh my goodness. I'll work on that in the emotions panel. If we have anything at all we can clear. Alright, here's this scan. I may not have anything I can clear at this point. No. So we're going to have to wait, I think, on that. I'll report that to you tomorrow. But that's, we need to clear that. Infection. No stress there. You can always, at that point, go into your charger, go back and you surely have some. Well, somewhere in here you would think I'll have to look for it out of all this. I don't know how many charges. There we go. Let's just do infections, general. Remember how proactive this is. So it's not saying that this is on body at all. 2 minutes. I always try to go the extra mile at work. My boss always finds me and brings me back. Okay. Perplexed, yin-yang balance, surprised, aloof. And our resistance factor today is energetic. Maybe that's why the sage is called for. So anyway, I know we're going to get cut off in a minute. Any other ideas here? Or anything to add? we need to add a little more intent. You know, that's what Raymond Gray says with his dowsing. It's intent. And so we go into our work and have our mind fixed on it. So I think there are some positive things we can add, and I really was excited to find that code about use these times to bring you your greatest blessings. I do believe that's a very possible scenario here. So with that, okay, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Okay, thanks everybody.
Great day, everybody.
This concludes our SRC4U software Zoom call for January 25th, 2021. Thank you for joining. We look forward to seeing you again. Take care and be well.